Administration was doing everything possible to ensure that all their loved ones in the hands of the Boko Haram terrorists regained their freedom. Earlier today, a legal practitioner shared his view on this.
It's unfortunate that those girls are still on his mind and not actually, somebody's not actually on the road looking for them actively. I think it's very unfortunate, and it leaves a lot to the commitment of the president to, getting these girls back. Because I remember the Chibok girls, they've been out for about 5 years now, and this was part of the reasons why the former president was voted out, because we felt that he didn't have a hold on security, but the fact that the person that a lot of people entrusted with that responsibility they're still on his mind is not a very good it's not a very good testimonial as far as I'm concerned. I believe a whole lot more should be done. We need to see commitment, we need to see drive, we need to see people actually going into those places, combing those areas. I believe we have the resources, we have the know-how, with a whole lot more motivation. I believe that the members of the armed forces should be able to go out and make the impossible happen as far as this is concerned. I expected the president a whole lot more. If the president had not said anything, I would just hear maybe a couple of days down the line, the girls have been rescued. That would have given a whole lot more credibility. And the fact that Leah Sharibu's own case is even more precarious, or it's more saddening, because there were a number of girls. They were all rescued, all but her. You understand? We don't know what level of diplomatic work went into the release of those other girls, but the fact that she's still there, it's given a bit of coloration to the president and his preferences, and it's unfortunate. I really wish he would be sensitive to the perception that Nigerians have of him, and do the right thing as regards Leah Sharibu. But I would like to believe that for a responsible country with leaders that are committed, to be on the right side of posterity, more could have been done, and most likely they would have been found. Like I said, in my opinion, there's no political will, to get those girls back. And I think if the stakes were a whole lot higher,
in the very early stages. Now, hundreds of protesters headed to Central Algiers on Friday, the 10th consecutive week of demonstrations, as they seek radical change to Algeria's government. Authorities have closed the entrances to the capital for the second week, blocking hundreds of cars as people drove from outside the capital. Some protesters arrived in Algiers on Thursday to avoid being blocked outside. The opposition has since called for an overhaul of the political system in the country. Protesters have also rejected incumbent Prime Minister, who was appointed by Bouteflika shortly before he resigned. On April 9, Abdulkader Bessala was appointed by Parliament to lead the North African country in a 3-month transitional period. He has set the presidential vote for July 4. The news continues after this short break.
Hey, what's up, guys? You're welcome to another edition of Plus Event, and I remain your host, Ifeoluwa Oshukeye.
Your absence isn't an excuse anymore, as Plus Events is all you need, as we bring you the glitz, the glamour, and loads of fun.
Oh, definitely. No question. He's a living legend. God forbid, Holy Ghost fire, I know.
I just want to be blown away. I want to be wild. This is 11 years of doing it.
I'm surrounded by so much positivity.
No, it's okay.
Yo, what's up, my people? It's your boy Starboy Terry. You're watching
Plus Event
on Plus TV.
Stay glued to Plus TV Africa every Saturday and Sunday, 4:30 p.m. West African time.
First point of accountability is asking questions.
Hello and welcome to Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoko.
Hi everyone, welcome to Plus Training.
You cannot continue to recycle poverty while you're spending a lot of money on unproductive
ventures.
The government has to feel the impact.
Honorable Commissioner, sir, welcome to the show.
That's the Brazilian who, with the longer blades that Oscar wasn't too impressed with, did 200 metres, but we must stress, absolutely legal.
Sounds of the surf.
Yeah. Now that he's a hater, I don't want no bad energy. Man get views, but I rage off, you can't see my enemy.
And this time they are away, and Peacock goes away strongly.
She wants a man from London, she wants a fellow with felonies. That's probably my team. There's no I in it, I bring it on my team. That's when it's all my team. Even the bouncers bounce when it's all my team. Who do you wanna never know? Don't be a sheep when you can be gold. Great, it's about time and you never know. Don't show up to my show, you've got no energy.
An admitted Russian agent will be sentenced Friday in the U.S. In December, Maria Butina pleaded guilty to conspiring with a Russian official to infiltrate the National Rifle Association and influence American conservative activists and Republican politicians. The U.S. Justice Department says the 30-year-old graduate of American University in Washington worked for a Russian official identified as the deputy governor of the country's central bank. The charges against Butina are separate from Special Counsel Robert Mueller's 22-month probe into alleged Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. election. Prosecutors have asked Butina to be sentenced to 18 months in prison before sending her back to Russia. Butina's lawyers are asking she be sentenced to time served, arguing she's already spent 9 months in custody. It was not clear when Butina, a native of Siberia, will be deported, but defense lawyers asked the judge to send her home to her family. Russia is confident it can soon resolve a problem of polluted Russian oil contaminating a major pipeline serving Europe and affecting supplies as far west as Germany. Russia Deputy Energy Minister Pavel Sorokin did not give a precise time frame for Moscow, but Moscow has previously said it would pump clean oil to the border with Belarus from April 29, seeking to end a crisis hitting the world's second-largest crude exporter. Sorokin was speaking at talks with officials from Belarus, Poland and Ukraine in Minsk on the issue. Belarus said the issue had cost it $100 million, while analysts say alternative supply routes for refiners cannot fully fill the gap. Poland, Germany, Ukraine and Slovakia have suspended imports of Russian oil via the Druzhba pipeline. Halting those supplies has knocked on effects further along the network. Sri Lanka has been granted $480 million to help the country's recovery after the deadly Easter Sunday bombings that killed 253 people, Finance Minister Mangala Samarawera said on Friday. Samarawera told a news conference in Colombo that the government had secured the grant from the Millennium Challenge Cooperation, which focused mainly on poverty in developing nations. The attacks on Easter Sunday has hurt Sri Lanka's already weak economy. In January, Sri Lanka used its reserve to repay debt worth $1 billion. Up next is our business news. According to the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), the country seeks to increase the nation's crude oil reserves to 40 billion barrels and production capacity to 4 million barrels per day by 2025. This was made known by the Group Managing Director (NNPC), Dr. Makanti Baro, on Thursday. He indicated the corporation was seeking to attract necessary funding from the capital market for the development of the nation's oil and gas resources. In his address on the state of the industry titled Moving Nigeria Towards Energy Self-Sufficiency, Baru said there is increasing global competition on Nigerian crude oil due to the rise of new production centers across the globe, particularly in Africa and Argentina. On this note, he said Nigeria therefore needs to unlock new barrels as quickly as possible to stay relevant in the new emerging world. Baru stated that evolving new funding mechanisms for the joint venture operations was part of the focus of the reforms undertaken by the government to eliminate the difficult cash call regime, enhance the efficiency of the management of oil and gas resources, and guarantee growth. Still ahead on Plus TV Africa News is our roundup on entertainment and sports.
Getting relaxed at a great hotel and spa, shopping in the best malls of this world, and touring the City of Gold. There is just one destination that can make you have all experiences in one. Discover Dubai with WakaNow.com. Book your travel with WakaNow and get free airport pickups in Dubai. WakaNow can book your flights, hotel, tours, and much more. We have an international travel sim for use anywhere in the world with non-roaming rates. Contact WakaNow.com for the cheapest prices to Dubai. WakaNow.com.
That is how we get looped into a cycle of insanity, repeating the same thing and expecting a different result. That cycle of failure is unsustainable and it has to end now.
Perfection train is back.
They take us to the push and start asking us to call our people to send money.
What can be done as an intervention for them right now to stop abuse of all children?
Politics has helped shape the decision of the polity, from conspiracy theories to good old-fashioned comic politics.
These are the results of tomorrow's election. Okay, you have it already, Abi.
I think we've done very well in the very difficult circumstances in which we took over governance.
Plus, politics will fill the polls of the country, from friends to frenemies, even strange bedfellows, to clones and stooges. We go beyond the rhetorics and the drama to analyze the story behind the story.
Let anybody come and say.
The perception in itself does more harm than actual corruption that you have.
Plus Politics, not just another political show. It's about putting you, the citizens, in the know.
Naira Marley has been in the news for what some regard as the wrong reasons after he showed support for internet fraudsters, and Simi, on the other hand, had previously condemned this despicable act. The issue escalated when Naira Marley claimed in an Instagram post that singer Simi saw him as the just concluded homecoming concert and not him. Simi has now reacted to his claims during an interview with a Lagos-based radio station, saying she cannot recollect seeing Naira Marley eye to eye at the event he claimed they met. She further disclosed she doesn't have anything against Naira Marley, as they were never friends nor enemies. Still in entertainment, American actor Michael Madsen has lost out on a movie role, according to sources close to the production on the emerging flick Chronicles of a Serial Killer, as a result of his driving under the influence charge. Madsen and his representatives have been informed that he has been axed from the cast, which is major loss to the actor, who was supposed to earn $100,000 for the gig. It would be recalled that Madsen was charged with 2 misdemeanors for driving under the influence after crashing his Land Rover in Malibu sometime in March 2019. The filming of the movie starts next month in New York City, but production is worried the actor may not be around to shoot, as he may be off to jail, as he is a repeat DUI offender. And that's it on entertainment. Sports is up next.
And in sports, Manchester United boss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says he thinks Paul Pogba will still be at the club next season, but he cannot guarantee it. The 26-year-old France midfielder who is contracted until July 2021 has been linked with a move to Real Madrid. He has scored 24 goals in 83 league appearances for United since rejoining from Juventus in 2016 and was listed in the PFA Team of the Year on Thursday. Speaking at a news conference before United's game against Chelsea on Sunday, Solskjaer also said he had no intention of dropping goalkeeper David De Gea, despite a succession of recent mistakes.
Not at all.
And why is that? Why have you not considered taking?
Because I trust David, and there's not. He's for me been the best player United have had the last 6-7 years, and he's been absolutely outstanding. And going through tough patches, it's just part of a footballer's career, and David will be fine.
Well, he also revealed midfielder Andre Herrera may be available for Sunday's game after a hamstring injury. And that's it on Sports Update on Plus TV Africa. I'm Udoka Njoko.
Thank you, Udoka. And that's our news roundup of events at this hour. For more news updates, please follow us at Plus TV Africa on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel that is also at Plus TV Africa. We'll be back later with more stories making the headlines. Do please join us again. Thank you for watching.
Hey, what's up, guys? You're welcome to another edition of Plus Event, and I remain your host, Ifeoluwa Oshukeye.
Your absence isn't an excuse anymore, as Plus Events is all you need, as we bring you the glitz, the glamour, and loads of fun.
Oh, definitely. Right, no question. He's a living legend.
Oh, God forbid, Holy Ghost fire, no.
I just want to be blown away. I want to be wild. This is 11 years of doing it.
I'm surrounded by so much positivity. No, it's okay.
Yo, what's up, my people? It's your boy Starboy Terry. You're watching
Plus Event
on Plus TV.
Stay glued to Plus TV Africa every Saturday and Sunday, 4:30 p.m. West African time.
First point of accountability is asking questions.
Hello and welcome to Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoko.
Hi everyone, welcome to Plus Training.
You cannot continue to recycle poverty while you're spending a lot of money on unproductive ventures.
The government has to feel the impact.
Honorable Commissioner, sir, welcome to the show.
You're watching Plus TV Africa, and this is Tea Time. I loved the energy when I came in here. It was so positive. I was like, I can live here.
My real names are Akbofio Fobo, Akbolubo Mere.
I think my father is a comedian because most times when he calls me, he's like, yo, make sure you use condom, you know, them girls out there.
So are you telling me I should have shot my shots?
Ife, you have a younger brother.
Age is nothing but a number. Well, I'm a vampire.
I believe in equal rights for women, and I also believe that a man is the head of the house, so we need to draw our limits somewhere.
It feels so good. Now can I do my jam now?
Yeah, you can.
Thank you.
That is how we get looped into a cycle of insanity, repeating the same thing and expecting a different result. That cycle of failure is unsustainable and it has to end now.
Perfection Train is back.
They take us to the bush and start asking us to call our people to send money.
What can be done as an intervention for them right now to stop abuse of all children?
First point of accountability is asking questions.
Hello and welcome to Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoko.
Hi everyone, welcome to Plus Training.
You cannot continue to recycle poverty while you're spending a lot of money on unproductive ventures.
The government has to feel the impact.
Honorable Commissioner, sir, welcome to the show.
Hey, welcome to Tea Time, where we discuss some of the biggest headlines. My name is Elsie Godwin, and I've got Ife Squared with me to give in-depth analysis of these entertainment stories, Ife Oshokeye and Ife Omai. Hey, guys.
Hello.
What up?
How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Well. So
have you seen the full video now?
I have.
Opinions?
Have you?
Yeah, I have too.
Very interesting.
Okay.
Tonto is definitely a character.
So what was the very impressive
I think we
part
should
for
play
you?
it again before we even
Everything
dive
again?
into that. Yeah.
Or just the clip?
No, we need to play the clip again before we dive into the...
I'm not sure.
No,
we
not
have that
everything,
ready,
but we should have it ready, or maybe before the end of the conversation, the video should come up.
All right. But for you, what was the very interesting part you would like to talk about?
It was interesting when she was talking about, like, trying to give insights on Nollywood, and she said everyone shares. Remember the hand gestures? The same men, same clothes, same. So I wanted to know what she meant by that. Like, you know, got me thinking, like, what do you mean same men? Does she mean, like, actors, like, the same men acting in all their movies, or does she mean romantically? Like, you know, I wanted more tea.
Then same clothes, you know?
Yeah, same clothes as well. What does that mean? Is it like the costumes are all, you know? I wanted more insight on that.
Yeah,
because,
like we would have loved like a very
spontaneous follow-up question. You know, like tell us what you mean, St. Claude.
Anyway, don't worry. When you have the opportunity to interview again, you ask those questions. But for me, I think I'm more interested in the piracy part because that's one thing we've always talked about on this show. And Ife is one of those that is passionate about it and say, oh, we have to do something. And now she's coming out to say, okay, this is something they even do to themselves.
Yeah.
And then she was very confident saying that, you know, so.
It's really sad if that's true. I mean, I don't know anywhere else that has that kind of level of piracy like we do in Nigeria. So to even...
No, America has more, according to statistics.
Not in physical copy on the street, though. It's not that open. And even...
Well, I did hear a conversation once between things like this. The producer was like, you know what, instead of them to go and pirate my own movie, let me go and pirate it myself and put it in the market so that if they're not buying the original, they're buying the pirated. We're killing ourselves. We're all fighting for the same thing. It's a circle. We share the same men, the same clothes, the same movies, the same things. So it's a cycle. Why would you want to be friends with someone who wants your life? I'm a woman now. I was a girl before. I have a child. I have businesses. I have over 30 staffs. I have over 3,700 children I pay school fees for. Looking at my journey so far, the only thing that I've done differently was pick a better husband. Pick a better, no, not a better husband. Pick a better father for my son.
Welcome back. So that's the clip Ife wanted. But before we move on, I think I want us to at least touch the good side of her. 3,700 children. We don't have proof to that anyway.
Oh, exactly. I was going to say, how can we
I feel
prove
like that's a good thing if her foundation is able to cover that amount of children.
To be honest, I didn't even know she had a foundation.
Okay.
So it seems like the big thing about Tonto's image is the negative aspect. To be honest, I was really surprised hearing that. Like, that's a big deal, and she needs to be commended for that. There's not a lot of actresses that I know of that gets involved in, you know, trying to give back to that capacity. And even if they're 3,000, they might be 20K for school fees or something, but it's still, it goes a long way, and I was really impressed by that.
Yeah, I mean, I've always known about her foundation. She doesn't joke with it, like she's always pushing it, but I think at some point the whole drama between her and Church Hill just took over everything that has to do with Tonto. So when you hear Tonto, you're thinking of the drama, you're thinking of what's the son's name again? King Andre or something. You're just thinking of that. You're not thinking of her acting. You're not thinking of what she does by the side. And then she says she goes to, that she'd rather work more in Abuja, get contracts to fund this thing, and also said something about she's now a grown woman.
Yeah, you can tell in her voice she's evolving a little bit. And I think like finances, responsibilities is kind of calming her down. However, when she said she didn't have a social life, I was really like taken aback by that, because the perception that she puts on social media is very like outgoing and traveling and weddings and all of that stuff. So to see that, you know, she said the complete opposite, she just vibes me like someone that's just really misunderstood.
Well, I got the vibe of she was kind of being dishonest with a lot of things, or being defensive about a lot of things, because if you're saying you're not the outgoing type, what about the pictures we see out there of you going out and all of that? Like, I just felt like she was trying to be woo somebody else totally in this interview. The only part about her that I knew that, okay, this was Tonto, was the fact that she was saying, I don't care. It's not like I care. Like, she still had that I don't care attitude.
I mean, it's very relative. If somebody says that they don't go out, maybe for her caliber and this industry, it's a daily thing. And for her, it's probably a month.
So or maybe it's a business outing or something. But I would have expected her to, like, give, like, a proper analysis of what she means by she doesn't go out, you know, stuff like that. But there's one part I really need to ask you, because I don't know, I didn't hear, how can you prove what went into your... That was all like, what was that?
You're still on air, we'll hear... So after the show, I'll let you know what that is about.
Because I've been wondering what goes into what...
But I mean, if you're sharing the same men and I'm asking you to prove it, and then you say you cannot... prove what goes into it. You should.
Oh, okay. Then let me just confirm the fact that they are all sleeping with the same man. So is she talking about sexual wise, like they share the same man. And all
We need
that.
to bring Tonto back for Ife.
I think so.
So they have
too.
like a dark room conversation.
I think Tonto needs to be on tea time.
And
Tonto
yeah.
DK, please, if you can come on tea time, there's an empty chair waiting for you.
Yeah, I think we should thrill her. Yeah.
Okay, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll move on to the agenda of today and talk about those interesting headlines you want to hear. We'll be right back.
Hey, what's up, my people? It's your boy Elvis Poco. I want to say to you, keep watching Tea Time on Plus TV Africa. Big stories live here.
Best concert of your life? Don't just stay cool, stay refreshed with an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Pick your lane, solo or bigger boy.
Taste the feeling.
First point of accountability is asking questions.
Hello and welcome to Plus Sports on Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoko.
Hi everyone, welcome to Plus Training.
Very, because it has already become like a tradition in Los Angeles, becoming a tradition.
I'm not very sure right now, correct me if I'm wrong. Do they have to pay? It's free.
Yeah.
Right? So, do they have to pay?
Not, you know.
So, if he's going to do this continuously every Sunday, are we going to see something like offering or donations or just supporting the movement? Or he's just going to keep spending money and then his number of choirs and all?
I mean, we don't have any logistics on like what the admin side will be. All we know, or all that he's mentioned to us, is that he has a heart for healing people, right? And he himself, even in his history, you see he's battled with mental whatevers and all that breakdown and all that stuff. You can see that the guy has a good heart. But we don't know how alternative this church will be in comparison to what the traditional setting of church will be. We don't really know. We don't know if he's going to ask. But you're right, though, because if you want to start doing this on a consecutive basis, then money will have to get involved. Like, how are you going to maintain, you know,
the venue, the
equipment, the people that are paying.
Manpower.
I guess he's balling like that. We'll see.
Maybe he has enough to do all that. I don't know. And I think
I don't think we should be worried about how they're going to get their resources, because this is Kanye West.
I guess so.
He's married to the Kardashians.
So they have unlimited resources. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying unlimited, but I'm saying that at the end of the day, even if you put a gate fee, people would still attend.
Then is this still a church?
It isn't like, I don't know why you guys are making it like it's a proper, like you said, it's not going to be your convention. It was true music.
It could not be conventional, but yeah, he's healing souls.
Do you know that some people actually get better when they listen to music? They could feel down right now.
Yeah,
I think the biggest problem with this thing is that it's not very straightforward. If you call it a church, but you're going very south, how far south do you go that is still considered a church? You know, that's the question. Like, how bizarre does it get? Because then
it already has a tag Sunday service.
Exactly.
And it happens on Sundays. And this is going to take away members from so many churches. Let's not forget that.
True.
You know, so I don't know. I mean, it's still all speculations. He has not really confirmed it.
Yeah.
His wife confirmed that he enjoys doing this, and it also heals him to a level, right? So.
But would you say you personally get entertained by that? I mean, there's some snippets of it on social media. So far, what do you think about what he has done?
I think it's good music coming out to people who enjoy it, right? But now taking it to the next level is what I'm not seeing.
Yeah.
You know, but it's good music. I mean, I was telling Ife about Jesus Walks the other day. I don't joke with that song. It's just cool, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure he has done... For me, I'm not a typical hip-hop head, so please don't bite me off. But I'm not sure he has done anything that beats Jesus Walks for me. You know, so to maintain that pace, I don't know.
They said he is the church. He is the text of the sermon. It's his songs. He is the worship. He is creating a church in himself and selling it.
He still sounds like God to me. Like,
I mean,
like
sounds like he's
the God of the religion.
Is that what we're doing now?
That's why I'm saying.
That's basically what you just said.
We are confusing this with typical Christianity. The fact that they're referring it to as a church.
Star Times, Da Donkoa.
My name is Kalu Ikago. You're watching Tea Time on Plus TV Africa.
This is Tea Time and this is Plus TV Africa. Next is this headline on Seun Kuti saying fraudsters are the real Mugu. Okay, I must confess, when I read this, I felt like, who is your dealer? Like, he's on a different level. Like, I've never looked at it from this angle, because most times they get this money and they still want to spend it on Gucci, LV, and it's a way of getting this money back. I think I agree with him for the first time.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
For the first time?
Yeah, for the first time.
Wow.
Because there are some things, we have conversations.
I has actually attacked Gucci fees is buffing up and giving it. I don't know, maybe there's some kind of underlining issues.
I'm saying even if you have started bad, just try and look for a way to look for something legit to do,
I guess
and
I will say
focus on that.
That is Ife Oshokere's opinion. You don't need to follow it. And that's how we are wrapping up on Tea Time this afternoon. If there's any episode you missed, don't worry. Do watch roundup of Tea Time over the weekend and join us on Monday for fresh episodes of the program. Until then, a big thank you to my anchors Ife and Ife, the production team, as well as our stylist Kotsi of Kudis Empire and Liz Harrison. I'm Elsie Godwin. Welcome to the show.
That is how we get looped into a cycle of insanity, repeating the same thing and expecting a different result. That cycle of failure is unsustainable and it has to end now.
Perfection Train is back.
They take us to the bush and start asking us to call our people to send money.
What can be done as an intervention for them right now to stop abuse of all children?
Yo, what's up, my people? It's your boy Starboy Terry. You're watching
Plus Event
on Plus TV. Stay glued to Plus TV Africa every Saturday and Sunday, 4:30 p.m. West African time.
Politics has helped shape the decision of the polity, from conspiracy theories to good old-fashioned comic politics.
These are the result of tomorrow's election. Okay, you have it already, have you?
I think we've done very well in the very difficult circumstances in which we took over governance.
Plus, politics will feel the pulse of the country, from friends to frenemies, even strange bedfellows, to clones and stooges. We go beyond the rhetorics and the drama to analyze the story behind.
They do the killing of the undergraduate. The CP1 say the killing happened on April 17. Say the operative of the Special Anti-Cultism Unit of the Command of Put Body for the matter. According to RAM, the suspect don't do
number of policemen and armed forces, for elections. Meanwhile, we have, so many crimes and all of that happening. This is alarming. 3,000 in kidnappers dead.
Absolutely.
And you begin to wonder that if we have this number of persons, the police should, the different commands should have been given marching orders, to go out and get these people out. But the fact that, it takes the National Assembly and probably the NLC, to cry out about this, that for me is very, very scary. Like we've said, look at what happened in Benue a while ago and lately Zamfara.